If you think Australia's borders are secure, think again. 6 months ago, in a joint investigation with the Sydney Morning Herald and The Age, 60 Minutes exposed how criminals are making a joke of the way we enforce who does and doesn't enter the country. The rorting is breathtaking. There's large-scale human and drug trafficking, sex slavery, and the shocking exploitation of foreign workers. After our story, the Albanese government promised action, ordering an urgent inquiry. The report was meant to be publicly released before last week's budget, but instead, the damning findings have been kept secret. But not any longer. It doesn't get any more blatant than this.
Hi, baby.
Exploited Asian sex workers trafficked into Australia and moved around the country like cattle.
What do you have?
My 76.
Or overseas crime syndicates rorting our visa system to bring in criminals to run their nefarious empires.
I'm absolutely flabbergasted. I'm flabbergasted that he's able to get into Australia.
Or even federal government licensed migration agents brazenly helping foreign drug dealers game the system.
It's easy for me, mate. Yep.
6 months ago, we exposed how Australian authorities were failing to secure our borders, allowing criminals to exploit the system. In response, Home Affairs Minister Claire O'Neill promised swift action.
Your investigations uncovered repulsive criminal wrongdoing in our country, and our government takes it seriously.
The Minister commissioned former top cop Christine Nixon to investigate our reporting, but the government has stalled on the release of her inquiry, and it's little wonder why. I've been briefed on Nixon's secret findings. I can tell you they are an utter indictment on the state of Australian border security, the Department of Home Affairs and Border Force. Nixon concluded it was clear that gaps and weaknesses in Australia's visa system are enabling criminal organisations and unscrupulous people to make millions of dollars annually, operating businesses built on the exploitation of vulnerable temporary migrants. How damning are these findings?
They are extraordinary. It's far worse than I anticipated.
Abul Rizvi is a former senior Department of Immigration official. Have the systemic failings that Christine Nixon has exposed, have they made Australia less safe?
We are certainly less safe from unscrupulous organised crime. That is undoubtedly the case.
According to Nixon, Border Force's investigative skills appear to have been degraded, and Australia's huge overseas education sector has been infiltrated by non-genuine providers and disreputable agents, funneling students into criminal activities. Nixon concluded abhorrent crimes have occurred due to seemingly higher law enforcement priorities, including unauthorised maritime arrivals. Australians have heard for years both sides of politics putting out very strong rhetoric about border security. How the hell has this been able to go on?
I think part of the problem was the absolute obsession with boats. It was as if boats was all that mattered. And as a result, I think the government, Home Affairs, Australian Border Force ended up taking their eyes off the ball and failing to focus on where the real vulnerabilities were, and that's in our visa system.
Abul Rizvi says successive Home Affairs ministers, including Peter Dutton, are to blame, as is the department. But now responsibility for fixing the failings lies squarely with the Albanese government. This report was finished before the budget. There was a commitment to release it before the budget. The government has sat on it. What does that tell us, and is that problematic?
I think for the government to be able to act properly on this, I think the report has to be released. And I hope it will be released. My fear is it's being held back because there may be people who feel they are vulnerable if it was released publicly.
You're talking about public officials, departmental officials.
I think so.
You can read more about Christine Nixon's report in the Sydney Morning Herald and The Age. Hello, I'm Nick McKenzie. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia. Subscribe to our channel now for brand new stories and exclusive clips every week. Don't miss out on our extra minute segments and full episodes of 60 Minutes on 9now.com.au and the 9Now app.